Hey everybody, it's Nate Charles back with another episode of the Rule of Law Brief. This one's deeply personal, and every word of it's true, but I think it's important. A few years ago, I started my own law firm, Charles International Law. 2 years into that experiment, my marriage fell apart, and it was my fault. During the depths of the COVID crisis, I took the only job that was available to me at the time. It was an assignment in Alaska for about a year. I was isolated, I was lonely, and in that loneliness, I made a terrible mistake. I had an affair. When I came home, I confessed my infidelity to my wife, thinking that honesty might be the first step towards repair. Instead, it detonated everything. She retaliated with false allegations, serious ones, designed to destroy my credibility, gain leverage in the divorce, and control the narrative. And for a while, it worked. Courts eventually saw through it, but by then, much of the damage had already been done. It would be easy for me to sit here and tell you that this story is one of victimhood. But the truth is, the whole thing started with me. I was the one that broke the trust that held our family together. Now, what I didn't realize at the time, though, was the way that I survived it all, the way that I eventually rebuilt, was itself a reflection of privilege. When my ex-wife filed for divorce, she used those allegations to have me removed from our home. And in hindsight, it's pretty clear why. In American family law, there's a perverse incentive that often ties physical control of the marital home to control over the children. And that control becomes the biggest point of leverage in any custody battle. So when she forced me out, it wasn't just about punishing me. It was a strategic move to strengthen her position. And unfortunately, she's not done grinding that axe, and maybe won't be for some time. But here's the thing. Even in that moment, even after being thrown out of my own home, I still had the resources that most people don't. My parents have never been wealthy, but they're stable, they're educated, and they're generous. They opened up their doors to me when I had nowhere else to go. They gave me a place to live, a place to visit with my children, and a place to start over. My family also had other kinds of capital, the kind that doesn't show up on a balance sheet. They are trained in the law, in child development, in social work. They knew how to document what was happening, how to respond, how to push back against the false allegation. And those things matter a lot. They make all the difference in who survives a divorce like mine and who doesn't. Over time, those same supports became the scaffolding for rebuilding my life. My parents had enough space in their home for me, and later for my new wife and me, to set up small offices, to run our businesses. They gave us room to work, to serve our clients, and to dream again. None of that came from luck. It came from generations of education and stability, from the kind of intergenerational advantages that accumulate quietly but powerful. My family has never been rich, but the simple fact that I had parents with education, a home, and the ability to support me through a crisis, that's privilege. And even in my personal life, privilege showed up again. In the aftermath of my divorce, I reached out to old classmates from the Naval Academy, partly for professional support, but partly because I was lonely and broken. And one of those classmates had been going through her own reverses. Our correspondence turned into friendship, and that friendship turned into love. We're married now. And even this second act of my life, this extraordinary gift of being able to love again, is something that grew out of privilege, because the very networks that carried me through disaster were built on opportunities not everyone gets: a service academy education, a professional degree, a stable family, a second chance. When we talk about privilege in this country, a lot of people get defensive. They think it means they're supposed to feel guilty about something, but that's not how I see it. I don't think privilege should make you feel guilty, but it should make you grateful, and it should make you thoughtful about how you use privilege. Privilege doesn't mean you can't fail. It means that when you do, the world gives you tools to rebuild. And if we're serious about fairness in this country, we have to start by acknowledging that not everyone gets those tools. I'm grateful for mine. I'm grateful for mine. And I'm trying, in my own imperfect way, to make sure they don't end with me. Because the most important lesson that I've learned in my adult life, and the fault line that divides almost everyone in this world, isn't political. It's not male or female. It's not rich or poor. It's not Republican or Democrat, Christian, Muslim, or Jew. The real fault line is this: when you have an advantage, when you're the one holding privilege, what do you do with it? Do you use it to lift up the people around you, or do you use it to enrich yourself? Because everyone listening to this and everyone around them at some point will hold a privilege over someone else. The question is, do you build or do you take? The fault line in America isn't right or left. It's giver or taker. Which one are you?